Hey everyone, time for another weekly update. I'll be going over the usual Bitcoin, ETH, and Sol as I always do. Take a look at the plays that I'm looking at for the week. Although I'm not taking all of these, anything that I will take will be given in the Discord channels. But I took some recommendations from people from my class, and I'll just be charting. So majority or three of the coins that I'm going to be going over are actually RWAs, real world assets, and I'll get to that at the end of the video. But I'll start off by saying that yes, I have been getting DMs from people that are going to be taking my last class. I'll reach out to you later this week. I have actually extended 15 spots to my course. 50 I've already filled up. So first come, first serve. This is my last course ever. I'll be going over my trading strategy. I've been, teaching for over 2 years, almost 3 years now. So this is my last course. Description to the forms and what's covered will be in the description of this video. Okay, so I won't bore you guys too much with that. Let's just jump into it. Let's take a look at BVol first, Bitcoin volatility. Now, last week we hit the lowest point since November of 2023. Okay, we have just marked the new low since that point, and as I mentioned before, this is an indicator of volatility to come this week. Okay, whenever we hit this blue zone, we will have a big move, and I expect it to happen within 2 to 3 days of hitting the zone. All right, if we take a look at last weekend when we hit the zone on June 1st. All right, let's take a look at Bitcoin on June 1st. All right, we were here, and within 2 days we got a move up. Right, so volatility happened. 6% move up, almost a 5% move down. And we are yet again in that range or in that zone that we are about to have a big move. Now, the way that this move is going to happen is undetermined. I don't know which way it's going to happen, but expect volatility to happen this week. 2 to 3 days of hitting the zone. So if this hit the zone on Saturday, anywhere from Tuesday or Monday to Tuesday, okay? So expect a big move no later than Tuesday night. And this is Pacific Standard Time for me. So whatever it is for you, just calculate it that way. All right. We'll take a look at Bitcoin as well, but this is a very good indicator. I take it on as a risk on, risk off type of approach. Whenever we are in the zone, whenever we are about to experience volatility, reduce your position sizes, reduce your leverage, and don't overtrade because it's going to be pretty violent. And this is the lowest point we had since 23. The last one gave us like a 5K move up almost, and almost retraced it. So this could go anyway, or whichever way. All right. Now, if I were to go to a low time frame, and yes, I did attempt a short for Bitcoin that I got stopped out. I gave it on my Twitter. We were here, okay, and I took this short based on the 2-hour chart. Okay, we were actually here. Gave it with stops above this resistance, and I'm pretty annoyed because I gave myself a very, very tight stop loss. All right, and wigged out and then dumped. Okay, now we are in a range since mid-May. Okay, we have not escaped that range. We're in a range in a larger range as well. So before I break that down, I want to go over how to play a range. Okay, so when you have a range high, okay, let's just do clean lines. And then you have your range low. Okay, in the middle, you have what's called a mid-range. Right, if this is your high, let's say price action is doing something like this, right? Come back down, range is formed, here's your high, here's your low, right? And then reject, range low, up, highs, okay? When you're playing a range, this is more for swing traders, okay? You can have a low time frame range form as well, but when you're taking range plays, they're most likely swing plays, okay? Um, if you're going to short the range highs until proven wrong, and you're going to long range lows until proven wrong. Now, if you're taking swing trades, right, your TPs are going to be a mid-range and range highs from the lows, and if you're from the highs to the lows, it's going to be from mid-range and then range low. Okay. Now, this is one of two of four ways to play it. Okay. When we are consolidating at range highs, you do not want to long anything. You are going to set bids at mid-range with your stops somewhere below support. Okay. And you're targeting range highs again. When we are at range lows, you're going to set shorts at mid-range, stops somewhere above resistance, and target the lows again. Okay. You should not be taking any trades while we are consolidating at mid-range. Okay, it's the riskiest type of trade to take and one that is ill-advised. You have to sit patient and just cope with not doing anything. Okay, go outside, touch grass, go to a brothel, whatever you want to do. Okay, just don't touch anything at mid-range. For example, let's take a look at ARB. Okay. So here is our range. Here is your range highs, right? And here is your range lows. Black for support and red for resistance. Okay. Now if I extend this line, this is support. Okay. Support, 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 so on and so forth. So this was a range over here, and then we're back into that range currently. Now this is on the daily chart. Okay. See, resistance. So range highs, if this was your range high point, this was your range low point. So now that you have your range high and your low, you can trade based off of that. So if this was your highs, you play back to the lows, and then in the middle you have your mid-range. Okay. Right? Support, lost it, turned to resistance, rejection, here's your mid-range. Okay? So if you're playing a range play, this would be your setup. You short range highs with your stops above the wick, back down to range lows. Okay, TP1, TP2. You long range lows, stops below support, back to the highs. Right, TP1, TP2. And you're going to keep doing that until one side gives. Eventually, you will be wrong 1 point. Right? There's nothing you can do about it. All right, maybe the next time we come down, this is your setup. Right? Long range lows, stops below here. Okay. If you are at range highs, as I mentioned, you never want to long range highs until you have a breakout and successful retest and then flip, then you can long. Then you want to set bid at mid-range, stops somewhere below support. Okay? Because if you do that, we came back down right here and you were able to get a 5% move up. Okay? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean we're going to reject from these highs or TP from here, so you have to take profits whenever you want, okay? It's not going to be a moment where someone tells you to take profits, you can hold whatever, but if you're happy with your profits, you better take it, okay? Notice how we were at mid-range. No trades should have been taken here, okay? It's the most ill-advised area to take it. you long range lows again, right? And stops again wherever you had placed it. We came, bounced from here, and this gave you about a 4% move up, right? So that's how you play a range, okay? Back to Bitcoin. This was my, now I gave this in the Discord, right? This is what I was thinking. I should have shorted range highs. I did not. We actually took out the highs here, okay? Swing failure and then continued to dump. Now, while we were at range highs, I played the mid range. So my entry was here. My DCA was there. This brought my average entry till about here. It was like 69K or 68,900-ish. Okay. And at the current point, this was about the highs, about a 1% move. Okay. This would have been my setup after DCA filled. Okay, I did not get stopped originally, right? This is about a 1 hour trade. Now, we are consolidating. At this point, I'm going to remove these lines. At under mid-range, we have turned mid-range into resistance. This is not an area where you want to play anything. So based on this range here, it's logical that we play range lows, stops below this wick, TP here and here. Those are your technical take profit points. Now, you can take profit at levels of resistance. So if we come back there, this is actually your first TP, TP2, TP3, TP4, however you want to TP. Okay, but you can't just wait for this to hit and this to hit. That's not how it's going to work, right? So these are your swing trade plays. So now that we are mid-range, we got to wait for range lows to hit. Okay, now this is your range within a larger range. So for Bitcoin, let's go to a different chart. Here's the daily. I had another example drawn here for my students. Let me just remove this. Okay, here's your clear range. We were looking at this range here, but now we have range highs, mid-range, and range lows. Okay, so with Bitcoin, I'm not saying we're going to go back down to the range low levels, but if you're playing a range, this is what you're looking at. Okay, one setup down here at range lows, and then you have the mid-range point. So there's a very good chance we go and revisit the 66K level, and that's where I'm going to play. So entry around there, DCA around the golden pocket, 64,400-ish, and stop loss somewhere within under the support in this order block here. All right, and I'm targeting new highs from that point. Now it's not necessarily a given that we go back down there, but that's what I'm planning for. Okay, we can easily reverse from here. Honestly, if we are to go higher, we need to go higher from this point with this big move that's going to be coming. All right. We have an inverse head and shoulders. We have a cup and handle. Whatever you see here with technical targets at 85K that I covered in last week's video. All right. But because we're in a range, we're going to treat it as such. So range lows, demand zone, DCA at the golden pocket, and hopefully we go higher. Because if we get stopped, then we are going to long range lows, right? We have been in a range since February of 24. All right, so this is a multi-month range, and it has paid dividend if you treat it as such, right? Range highs, here's lows, highs, lows, highs, lows. If you played it as such, eventually you would have been stopped out here. You'd have longed the reclaim of range lows, shorted highs, right? Back down to mid-range. See how we bounce from mid-range back to the highs, shorted, and then you're going to keep playing it as such, right? So that's what I'm looking for Bitcoin. Honestly, I would love a push into new all-time highs, but I've mentioned this prior in the Discords and in my videos. Summer is usually a dry period, so expect chop until Q3. And then we should resume to go higher, but always be prepared for those 30% drops. All right. This is my plan. Anything that I've given in terms of setups, actual TPs and stop losses will be shared in the Discord. All right. Next, let's take a look at ETH. I mentioned this in my last video. While we were at the highs, I was looking for bits to fill in this 3635 region down to 3500. Originally, I gave the spot entry here at 3100-ish. We got some bits to fill. I'm still expecting more to fill, so I have deeper bids in this area. Hopefully we fill, put in a higher low, right? And then continue to go higher, put in another higher low once these bids fill, and then go from that point on. Now we have this giant fair value gap, right? There's a lot of liquidity. I wouldn't be surprised if we get a deeper bid into here. It might be a wick like that. I don't want to, but if there's always that possibility. I'm okay if we get into that point. My average is around 31.92 now since the DCA filled. So 30, let's just call it 31 there. My actual average is 31.92. Let's just do this. Okay. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. So I'm hoping for bits to fill around 3,500, and then we just go to the upside. Okay, so my ETH plan has not changed. If these bids fill, it should bring my average to around 3320-ish, and then I'm not looking to add any more. I'm just looking for new highs on ETH, or at least new local highs. Okay, so at least 4,000 plus. All right. Next coin up is Injective. Now, just like everything else I mentioned, we are in a range. Okay. This coin has actually shown strength. I think it's soon, go time for this coin, but I did give buy orders for this at resistance. So if I go to the actual chart here, and I took this on spot, but I gave a perp chart. We entered in literally at resistance. DCA 1 filled, and DCA 2 barely missed. Okay, I still have those orders. Now, this coin was looking very, very strong when I first gave it, and let me give the reasoning of why I gave it. Okay, we had this dump from 31-ish down to 25 on that big dump from Bitcoin. Okay, and I saw it fully retrace the dump and get back to its highs, whereas Bitcoin was down almost 2K from its highs before the dump. Sol is down $12, $13 currently from before the dump, and I was looking at strength here, and I saw that we were almost back, and I'm like, okay, this looks strong. If Bitcoin just gives a little bit of a push, this should continue higher. That wasn't the case, and that's okay. My spot plays have no stop loss. I will look to cut plays once macro levels are lost. So I'm personally okay until this level here is lost. If we turn this level into resistance, I will cut the play. Okay, so 2380-ish. We lose that and turn into resistance. I will cut this play. Okay. Now back to the other chart. What I like about Injective is, yes, we could get a deeper move down. If Bitcoin does go down, alts will get actually destroyed, and I will tell you why. But notice how Injective is at a crucial crosshair right now. Okay, these are all support touches that we bounced from. We lost it. We came close to it. If I move that line a little bit lower where it actually should be, we did reject from it. But if we reclaim this as support, okay, we should send higher to the $40 plus area. Okay, I'm honestly looking for this level to hit as my first TP, and then we grind a little bit higher. Okay, so injective looks good from a macro time frame and setup wise. Now, yes, it will get ruined if Bitcoin goes down. It's okay if we go down to the 2380 level, as long as we don't close below, retest it, reject, and then turn into resistance. Then I will look to cut the play, and I'm wrong on my setup, and it's invalidated. Okay. So that's the reasoning why I took injective. As long as we're holding mid-range, we look pretty decent. These wicks are not ideal, right? We took a lot of this liquidity, put in a swing failure, came back down. But if we can hold here and actually hold above here, good. If you're looking for a leverage setup, then you're going to take the lows. Remember, we don't take anything at mid-range. You'll take the lows, DCA within this order block, stop loss below, TP1, TP2. Okay. If you're looking to short, then again, you're going to short the SR point, which we actually never touched. If I drew it down, yes. SR point, stop loss above here, and then TP1, TP2. Okay. There are more TPs that you can add. You'll take levels or TPs at levels of support and take it from there. Okay. The next coin is BNB, Binance coin. Okay. Now let's do a clean chart. So BNB actually put in a weekly SFP, a swing failure pattern. Okay, this was the all-time highs. We took it, closed below. So this was a good short on the weekly open, and it gave you like an $8 down move. Now, if I was shorting, I wouldn't short here. I'd place a stop loss or an entry at the previous swing high, which is here, or the 693 point. Okay. And stop loss above the highs if you're looking for short, because if you short anything higher than that, then you're most likely going to get stopped. It's going to go into price discovery if we reclaim this level, and then TP at down here. I'm not saying we're going to go down there, right? But that's your technical logical TP point. Now on a lower time frame, the area of interest for me to long BNB is coming at this demand zone here. My mouse sensitivity is so high. Okay, that is the demand zone where I would be looking for longs if you want to play this coin. Now, stop loss is a little bit hard here, okay, because if we place it below there, right, it's the only logical point, this can actually come, sweep the lows, and then continue to go higher. So give yourself a little bit of breathing room, go a little bit lower, but reduce your position size here, okay? So I'd go in with like maybe 2/3 or I don't know, maybe like half of your normal position size. Entry at the top of the demand zone. Okay, there. So about 630, 636-ish, and then TP1, TP2, and TP3 is going to be new highs. Okay. This is not a play that I'm taking, but this was a requested coin, so I was going to chart it. Now, this area here is a big demand zone. Okay. So if you're looking to add this to your bag, this is where you're looking to add. Okay. So from 636-ish down to 515, and then you're looking for 1,000 plus. Okay, this is on a higher time frame, so it's going to take longer to play out. Okay. Next coin is Sol, and I was wrong on this as well. Let's go over my thesis here. Okay. Now everyone was longing the breakout. I was waiting for this order block to come into fruition. Now we had that giant dip, and it's unfortunate that it happened, but you know, it's crypto, shit happens. Went through the order block level, went through my DCA level, and then just stopped me out within a 5-minute time span. Okay, nothing I could do. You know, when we have a capitulation like that, there's nothing you can do. Would I take that play again? 100% of the time I would. We did actually come and retest the breakout point. If this was our resistance, right? We came, retested, closed above. Yes, we went back down, we reclaimed it. So 150 or 160, where we are currently, is a very crucial point for Sol right now. All right. Where we would add for Sol, if you're looking for it, is this order block. If you're looking too long, stops below the wick, and target new highs. Okay, this was the original area that I was looking for when I first made this video. So I was looking for, or not when I first made this video, it was like 2 videos ago on my market recap. I was looking for this, right, and then rejection, come back down, and then break above. Okay, come into the order block, and if we were to draw fibs as well, right, DCA point would be perfectly around the 6.6 fib, or sorry, the 6.1 fib. Okay, stop loss below the 6.6 fib. I'm in this coin already from 153 average. We TP twice, both at 172 and 180. I think 187 it was. They hit perfectly. I have a little bit of position left. I'll be looking to compound more personally in my spot bag at this level. This is a perp setup if you decide to take it. If I give anything, it'll be in the discords. Okay, so don't take anything unless I give it in the servers. Right, but these are valid setups if you want to take them yourselves. Okay. Now, let's jump into the RWA setups, the real world assets. So 3 coins that come into mind. ONDO is the biggest RWA. It's my highest conviction setup and coin. Okay, we are in it from 88. Well, I gave it to my class at 22 cents. 22 to 25 cents. So we are up about 5 to 6x. If you took it with me, my students, right? But I gave it to everyone else around 75 to 82 cents. So I'm up about 75% there and 6x on my long-term bag. Now, if we're looking for entry points for ONDO, okay. Okay. Now we are making higher highs and higher lows, right? We have not broken market structure yet. This is our last higher low. Okay. So if we break below, okay, then we'll probably come back down and test previous all-time high levels. So if you're looking to buy and you're patient, if we get a nice dip, this would be a nice area to buy. Okay, that's if we break below. Now, this is one impulse of higher highs and higher lows to be broken of a low time frame market structure. We can actually come down here, and this, right, is still, this is our last higher low. So the trend will still be intact. This coin would still be bullish. It would just be bearish on a lower time frame or a lower impulse. Okay, so if we break below this point and turn into resistance, you'll start bidding around here, and then there should be a nice bounce point. I eventually think this dollar or this coin goes to $4 or $5, hopefully, and then that's probably selling. But if you're looking to buy, probably front run this a little bit. So anywhere from $1.07, maybe $1.10, all the way down to 95 cents is going to be your buy zone. Now we will come down here. You will see CT Moon Boys start calling for an inverse head or a head and shoulders, right? Only to put in a double bottom and then grind higher. If we come and bounce from here, let's go to a lower time frame. You're looking for a nice setup to buy, this would be where you want to long. Okay. Now we could say that this is putting in a nice little wedge action. Okay. A little falling wedge. Technical targets. $1.60-ish. Breakout. Retest. We have clear resistance here. So if this is flipped, that is your long trigger for me personally. Right, here's the flip, went higher, came back, bounced a little bit, lost it, turned to resistance. That is your flip trigger, and then stop loss will be somewhere below here, but you need more candle structure to develop to place that. Otherwise, if we do come back down, this is your area to buy for a long, quick scalp play. Stop loss below there, and then we target a little bit higher. Okay. The next coin is OM Mantra. Now this is trending today. I think it's all-time highs. Huh. It's been a while since I charted this. Okay. This coin is in price discovery. Let me check a few other charts really quickly. Always check spot charts. Yep, this coin's in price discovery. So do not short this coin unless you want to get wrecked. But good idea to buy on pullbacks. Okay. I would say buy areas from, probably get front ran, because that's your previous high. Actually, your previous high is there, 104. So we have a clear demand zone here. Okay. If you want a coin for, I'm probably looking to add this to my spot bag around $4 down to 88 cents. The RWA narrative is going to be a big one, and I think the main focus for this cycle, followed by AI and gaming. So anywhere from $1 actually $1 down to 87 cents is where I'm looking to buy. Okay, this may get stopped and front ran here at $1.04, so you could look to buy there, but this coin's in price discovery currently. Let's draw it from this low here. Yeah. If you want to long order block, this gray zone is going to be or from a dollar down to 87 cents is going to be my long-term spot bag hold. But if you're looking to buy or long this is your setup, right? Order block, stop loss below this low, TP1, TP2, and then this will probably be in price discovery at that point, but this is your setup. Okay, around 96 cents is your entry, stop loss at 89 cents, lower your position size, stop loss is pretty wide, and then take profit as you see fit or at levels of resistance. Okay? Something like that. Last but not least, TrueFi. Not a coin that I was on my target. I don't really care about these low cap coins until they're trending. I did some more research into it. True. But this is trending because RWAs are trending. Okay. Well off from its all-time highs. Currently from here to all-time highs is about 340%. Okay. Now we got to see how this daily goes, because at this current stage, if we close below the previous high, we're going to put in a swing failure pattern. We saw what happened with Bitcoin when it did that, right? Here was the highs. This will be a little bit lower, right? We took it. We took it and then swing failured back down. Same thing here, right? If we close below this on the daily, and we have 17 hours to go, this could correct. Now this is a daily chart. Good buy points is this order block here. 20 cents down to 18 cents. Lower time frame because RWAs in this coin is trending. Maybe 21.7 down to 20 cents for a lower time frame buy. But here is your range, right? Here's your range highs, and here is your range lows, right? Lows, highs, lows. Want to draw a mid-range? Sure, let's draw the mid-range. Okay. Lows again, and we're at highs. Be careful, right? You want to bid at mid-range, and here's your mid-range level. So yeah, the 20 cent mark makes a very good sense to buy down to range lows. Okay. Do I see this coin going higher? Sure. That's an RWA asset. And honestly, would love a retest of this previous resistance, which again, it lines up with our mid-range point. So yes, anywhere from 20 cents down to 17 cents is a buy, and I'm going to add that to my bag around that point. Okay. Last but not least, be careful with altcoins here. So originally, I was looking for a rejection around this 54.9 to 55.2%. We did reject briefly, but we have actually flipped that level to support. We have reclaimed this trend line, right? Reclaim this trend line. This 3-day closes in 17 hours. If we continue to be this bullish on dominance, a simple fart from Bitcoin is going to wreck alts, okay? And my original target for Bitcoin dominance was 58 to 60%, which would, send alts to pretty substantial discounts and lows. But those are good buying points because I think we will reject from that point. Okay, so keep your eye out on Bitcoin dominance. I'm very bullish right now. We want to see the dollar also be bearish. The dollar did exactly what I mentioned in my last few videos. Okay, came back down right into that support area, bounced, and now it's above resistance. If this continues to go higher, the first level of resistance is this 105.86 level. Break that, 107. A bullish dollar index or DXY is bearish for not only crypto but risk on assets as well. Okay, so equity markets and forex as well. So that's it from me for this week's recap. I will see you guys later. Thanks, everyone.